Good morning, everyone. Brooke here. We're going to do a 30-minute Friday focus, and today's focus is all about Pilates for posture. So it's one of the most important things. I always say, just if you can stand up tall and straight and engage your core muscles, it just helps you move through your life in a much better way. It helps you sit better, it helps you walk better, and it helps you run and exercise better and feel better. So I think it's one of the most important things. Everybody's always thinking about like strong core and ripped abdominals. Yes, that's important too, because it helps your lower back. But if everybody walked around with a mirror behind them rather than in front of them, we'd spend a lot more time on our back, or like working on our back muscles. So that's what we're going to do today. So we got a little bit of optional equipment. If you don't have the equipment, don't worry about it. You can still do the workout. But if you have a set of light weights, grab them, a long resistance band, and a soft ball. If you don't have a ball, just grab a cushion or a towel folded up. Something like that is a suitable replacement for the cushion or for the ball. Great. So we're going to start standing up, and we're going to start with the band in our hands. So we hold the band out in front of you. So your arms are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. If you look at your feet are hip width and parallel. So your toes and heels in a line. So the posture actually starts with your feet. So I notice a lot of times people just naturally tend to turn their toes out. Some people turn their toes in, but more often people tend to turn out. So just try to correct that. Spread your toes nice and wide and just rock forward and back from the balls of the feet to the heels. So you have a nice strong platform, and just settle somewhere in the middle. So we start that posture with your feet in the right position. That's pull your knees in the right position, which pulls your hips in the right position, which takes your lower back into the right position and onwards up the body. So everything is connected in a chain. So we start with the feet. Then reach the arms out in front of you, hands a bit wider than shoulder width apart, and we're going to just stretch your band. So strengthening the muscles of your chest. So the pectoral muscles, as you pull, you'll put the muscles right here, just engage as you stretch your band. Good. Stay there for 4 and 3. Hands stay right in line with the shoulders, belly button pulled in. 2 and 1. And then once we form those muscles up, we lift the arms up and over, and then take the hands to the same position but behind your back. Maybe give yourself a little more length, because it's a little bit harder to hold the hands behind your body rather than in front. And then wrap the band around your shoulders and take your hands together in front of you. Then breathe in, open the arms out, and let the band come away from your back. So pulling the shoulder blades together behind the back, stretching the muscles that we were just strengthening at the front of the chest. So really open up that chest, stretching those pectoral muscles. So the key to good posture is having that balance through the body, having the right balance of length and strength. So here we're trying to lengthen the muscles at the front of the chest and strengthen the muscles on your upper back. So if you think about your spine like the mast of a ship, and you want to have all of those little lines, those tangents, equally balanced. So if you think about your muscles as the things that are going to support your spine, we need to have nice long muscles through the front of your chest and nice strong muscles through the back. Otherwise, your spine will just kind of collapse. Now hold that last one back, just getting that lovely stretch. And then just go up an inch to hold, and down a couple of inches to hold, up an inch and down an inch, and then take the arms all the way over your head and take the band back down to your hips. And we're going to drop the band. Step to the end of your mat. So the next one, we're going to think about mobility of your spine. So it's important to have strength, but it's also important to have movement. So it's important that each of those vertebrae of the spine can move individually, independently. So we're going to start with a roll down. So I often start most of my classes with this, just to give you an idea of why we do that. It's just to find that mobility and that fluidity through your spine. So we start with the neck, dropping your chin to your chest, and then around the shoulders, almost like you're rolling up a carpet. Just roll yourself or draw in with the belly button, and then come all the way down, stretching into your lower back, just mobilizing the vertebra of your lower back as you hang over your legs. And then we just nod the head. That just helps to relax your neck. And then shake your head side to side. Okay, now just have a quick look at your feet, check that they're still parallel, and then bend your knees, scoop the abdominals in, and then we just start to restack your spine. So imagine your vertebrae like building blocks, just stacking one on top of the other. Stack your ribs on top of your hips, stack your shoulders on top of your ribs, and your head comes on top of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, lift the arms up, and then breathe out. Come up onto your toes. And when you balance, it also, your body will naturally come into a certain alignment. So that's why I add our balance into our classes. Lower your heels down, And most people tend to hunch forward. They have nice tight muscles of the chest and too loose, weak muscles of your back, which is why I'm often just pulling things back so we open out that chest and strengthening the muscles of your upper back. Good. One more time, we're just going to drop the hands down to your sides, drop your chin to your chest, and again, think about that mobility of the spine as you roll all the way down. Again, hanging over your legs. And then we're going to bend the knees and get your hands all the way down to the mat. Start walking your hands forward, breathing out. So we always start our Pilates classes with a variation of plank poses. Now the plank is almost a perfect exercise because it strengthens your upper back, also strengthens your core. You can work into your legs, you can squeeze your glutes and work your legs as well. So let's go ahead and lower your knees down to the mat with a big breath in, and then breathe out. Lift the knees back up. So that engages the belly button, the core muscles, deep abdominals. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, press the mat away. So now your shoulders and your upper back are working, just holding your body weight up. We're making the abdominals work a little harder by lowering the knees down and up. Let's stay there 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 1 more. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. And then I want you to lift your hips all the way up and come into a downward dog stretch, a classic yoga pose. So this one really helps to stretch your hamstrings and then also arches into your lower back. So we just get a nice long straight back. Imagine a string at your tailbone, pulling it up to the ceiling. So just lengthen that spine as you arch your back and stretch your hamstrings. Then walk your hands back towards your feet. Drop your chin into your chest, gather the abdominals in, start bending the knees, and again articulating your spine up. Restacking one vertebra on top of the other. Shoulders on top of ribs and head comes on top of the shoulders. Now I'm going to lift your left arm up. So tightening the sides of the waist sometimes can be tight. And I want you to also these ribs, just lengthen through your left arm. Imagine just finding a little more space between each of those ribs. So we stretch everything out so we have that nice long spine. Just imagine a helium balloon, just pulling that hand straight up to the ceiling. We're not leaning over to the side. We're going straight up, just finding that length. And then change, lift the right arm up, left arm down, just reaching and finding a little more space between each of the ribs on that right side, lengthen out the muscles of the obliques of the right side of the waist, and take the hand back down to your side. Come to the end of the mat again. If you've moved, drop your chin to your chest, rounding the spine. Think about that fluidity, think about that rolling carpet, rolling down over your legs, softening the knees, hands come down to the mat, arching the back as you walk out into your plank. Holding there. And now we lift your right leg up. Keep your back straight as that toe goes up to the ceiling. Drop the knee under the body. Drop the hip. Elbow to the, or knee to the opposite elbow. Again, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, drop the knee under the body. So now another one of my favorite plank variations. Again, it works on stretching and lengthening your hamstrings while strengthening your back, strengthening your core. Come back to the center, lift the right leg up, lengthen through that left leg up, left toe, then left knee to right elbow. Inhale to lift, exhale, lengthen. 2 more, inhale, lift, exhale, lengthen. Last one, and down. Come back into your plank, drop your knees down, and sit back onto your heels, stretching your arms, stretching your back, rest your head. Okay, just slide your hands back, and now I want you to grab your weights. So we're just gonna sit, kind of resting back onto our heels with a straight back. Just turn to the front. And I want you to reach your arms over your head, the weights kind of touching each other, and then pull your elbows down into a W shape. Almost tuck those elbows behind your ribs. Then exhale, lift back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Now if you're not comfortable on your knees, you can be kneeling or you can even be standing, down and up. So it's almost like a swimming motion, and really squeeze the muscles. As you pull them down, squeeze them together. As you lengthen them, squeeze and kind of pull those weights together over your head. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then just pull the elbows down, reach your arms out to the side, and we're just going to take the hands together and push them back. Pull over the palms together, turn the arms, push them back. Stay there for 4 and and back, and 3. Now I'm going to turn so you can see how far my arms are coming back. Last 2, hands stay in line with the shoulders, and 1, forward and back, and then down. So as we're doing those upper body exercises, there's a tendency for the tension to creep up into your neck. And I want you to keep your neck nice and relaxed. Always try to transfer that tension from your neck down to your abdominals, drawing the core muscles in. Let's go one more set as we were doing before, but again, trying to transfer that tension to the abdominals rather than letting it creep up into your neck. Reach your arms out in front of you, push the arms behind, take it in front, push it behind. So just notice as you draw the abdominals in a little tighter, not only are you supporting your lower back, but you're holding that tension where we want it, not into the shoulders and the neck. Last 2, and back. 1 more, forward and back, and then down. Good. Now let's pop the weights to the side, and we're going to flip onto your back. We're going to need the ball for this next one. And again, it's going to be focused on articulating your spine. So again, finding that mobility and fluidity through the spine. So a healthy spine moves nice and easily. Every joint moves. So we're going to squeeze the ball between your knees. Press your lower back down into the mat. Draw the belly button and lift your pelvic floor, and then peel your spine up off the mat, 1 vertebra at a time, articulating every joint. So it's a really good exercise to just really focus on the articulation of the spine. Lift your hips nice and high, walk your hands a little closer towards your feet, and then drop your rib cage down. Really narrow the waist to help you control it. Roll through your middle back. Imagine that spine like a bicycle chain, 1 link at a time, dropping down into the mat, bone by bone, getting through every joint of your lower back, hip bones, and then the tailbone comes down, and then we come back into a neutral spine where we have that little space under the lower back. Take a deep breath in, try to expand the ribs as you inhale, and then as you exhale, we tilt the pelvis, press that tailbone down, press the lower back, the lumbar spine. There are 5 joints in your lumbar spine. Press each of them down into the mat, and then start peeling them up one by one, articulating. So imagining a pearl necklace, 1 beat at a time, just lifting up off of your mat as you lift each of your vertebrae all the way up. Squeeze your ball tight, button your ribs a little closer towards your hips to get that core strong, and then keep the hips high as you drop your rib cage down, narrow the waist as you get that middle back down, tilt your pelvis, so we're opening out the lumbar spine, finding each of the 5 joints in that lumbar spine, really scooping and hollowing the core before your hip bones, and then your tailbone come down, and then take a deep breath in, coming into neutral. Now I'm going to take your ball and come up to sitting, and we're going to place the ball right between your shoulder blades. So now again, working on mobility. So most spines are really tight through your thoracic, through like where that hunched back would be, right in the middle of the back. So this next exercise really opens that out. So you extend your legs out long and drape yourself over a ball or a cushion, letting your head come down to the mat, supporting the back of your head with your hands. Open your elbows out to your sides. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, we're just going to lift the head, wrap the elbows around the sides of your head, and then curl up, drawing the belly button in. Now inhale, open up that chest, open the elbows out nice and wide. You might actually feel like your fibers opening, stretching as you open out. And then close the elbows back together, lift your head up, draw the belly button in, so just tightening those abdominals. And then inhale, open everything out. And exhale, curl the head up, wrap the elbows in, scoop the belly button in tight, and roll forward. Now next time we open everything out, I want you to reach your arms out into a wide V. With your fingertips reaching to the corners of the room behind you. Try to get the back of the hands to the floor, and then pull your elbows into a W shape, pulling your elbows in towards your ribs, trying to keep the backs of the hands close to the floor, or even on the floor. Extend the arms out to that wide V, and then pull your elbows back in. So again, we're just opening the chest, stretching everything out, and then reach the arms out to the corners of the room. And now imagine you're making a big snow angel. So take your hands, touch your fingertips together over your head, and then sweep the arms all the way out to the side and down to the sides of your hips. A really lovely stretch. So just kind of sweep those hands all the way along the sides. It's important to try to connect down to the mat, so we really open everything out, really lengthen through your fingertips. Good, last 2, all the way down to the hips, sweeping the fingertips along the floor, and 1, all the way back up to the wall behind you, and then take your hands behind your head again, lift your head, Pull your elbows in, curl up, and so you can roll up off of your ball. Now take the ball away, and we're going to come to all fours. Let's actually add the weights with this one if you want to make it a little stronger. So we're going to have one weight in each hand. Have your hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Draw the abdominals in, and we're going to lift your right arm and your left leg. Stretch through the fingers, reach with the toes, and then inhale, lower back down. Hands and knee come down to the mat. Left arm and right leg. Lift and lengthen. Inhale, slowly back down to the mat. Let's go one more time each way. Reaching long, lift, and lower back down. And again, lift and lower. So those are all about stabilizing your spine. Now with the next one, I want you to just hold the weight in your right hand. Have your left hand just flat on your mat. We're going to reach your right arm and your left leg. So now we're going to think about mobility of the spine again. Breathing out around the spine. Pull your knee into your chest. Pull your elbow in. Breathe in. Stretch everything out. Exhale, tuck. Drawing in with the abdominals. Inhale, reach. 3 more like that. Breathing out. And in. Last 2. And reach. 1 more. Tuck. And reach and hold. Lift a little higher and then reach the hand and foot out to the corners, out to your sides, and back to the center. So go to the corners of your mat and then beyond a little further, out, right out to the side as you can, and back to your center line. Lengthen through the fingers, lengthen through the toes. Imagine you're wiping off a shelf with both the foot and the hand. Stay level with the shoulder and your hip. Last 2, breathing out and in. 1 more, breathe out and in. And then take the hand and the knee down and pass that weight over into your left hand. Right hand directly beneath your shoulder. We're going to extend your left arm and right leg out. Have them switch sides. Draw the belly button in. Breathe out, round the spine. Pull your chin to your chest. Pull your knee in. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, reach. Stay there for 4, 3. So again, getting that fluidity, that mobility of the spine, zipping the core tight, stretching it long. Last 1, tuck, reach and hold, and then take the hand and foot out to the corners and a little bit further, and then back to that midline. Core strong and tight. Sweep it out to the sides, back to the center. Stay there for 4 and 3, lengthening. Don't let the hand and foot drop down towards the mat, either 2. Last 1, out and back, and then drop the hand, drop the knee. Let's pop the weights to the side and come to sitting. So I want you to sit with your legs crossed, your shoulders down, your back nice and straight. Now if you can't sit comfortably with a straight back with your legs crossed, try to sit a little higher. Find a cushion or something that so you can sit a little higher, or a brick or a block. You can also extend your legs out if that's more comfortable, or your heels together. The priority is to have that nice long straight back. Now grab your band, and we're going to sit on the middle of your band. You can also use weights for this as well if you don't have the appropriate length band. I want you to have your hands out in front of you, pull your shoulders down away from your ears, draw the core muscles in, add a little pelvic floor lift, so we're supporting that deep abdominal muscle from underneath with the pelvic floor engaged, and then lift your arms up, breathing out. Breathe in, lower back down. Keep moving. So just to show you from the side how straight the back needs to be. So we're not rounding or like letting your head drop forward. Everything stays nice and long. String out of the top of the head. Belly button pulled in to support the lower back. And think about the muscles that run along either side of your spine. Just strengthening, almost like rippling through as you lift and lower. Just finding the definition and the tone in those muscles. Giving a good squeeze as the arms go up overhead. Stay there for 4. Keep moving. 3. Last 2. I want you to hold the last one up and then reach your arms out to the side. Shoulders down away from the ears, belly button pulled in, and do little circles. Strengthen your shoulders. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now lift the arms up to the ears and then out to your sides. Exhale up. Inhale down. Stay there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then take the arms all the way down to the mat. Just roll your shoulders out. Roll it forward. So we've talked about the importance of having that mobility and the fluidity through the spine and articulating every joint. So it's important that the vertebrae move kind of forward and back. But it's also important that they can twist. Kind of healthy twists are quite important. So we're going to focus on our twisting here. So we're going to stretch through the top of the head. Take your right hand across your left knee. Have the pinky pressing into the outside of that knee. And just slide that arm across. Turn your shoulders. Take the other hand behind you. And breathe in. Try to grow your spine an inch longer. And then as you breathe out, think about your muscles wrapping around. Just try to twist a little further. Just pressing into the outside of that hand. And then breathe in to lengthen as you come back to that starting point. Just turning the shoulders back to the front. And then cross your left hand across your right knee. Press into the outside of that hand, the right hand comes behind. Breathe in, lengthen through the spine. And then breathe out, twist a little further. Inhale, just turn the shoulders back to the front. Take your hands back to the knees, shoulders down. Let's go one more time each side. So right hand across the left knee, press into the outside of that hand. Breathe in, lengthen. You'll feel an opening through the shoulder blades as well. Look over that shoulder just to get the twist right up into the neck. Inhale for a little taller. Exhale, twist a little further. Come back to the front. Left hand across the right knee, twist, lengthen, twist a little further, and lengthen a little taller, and then come back to your starting point. Okay, let's drop the band, and we're gonna flip onto our front. So again, really important to do a whole series of movements lying on your front, rather than focusing on crunches all the time. Think about chest lifts. So it's really important to work your back as well as your front, as I've said. Now we're going to start with the ball, with your hands on top of the ball. I want you to drop your chest down to the mat and press your hands down into the ball. So first we just press down. Draw in with the abdominals, lift the pelvic floor, take a big breath in. With your next exhale, I want you to start to lift the chest and roll the ball in towards your mat, lifting and lengthening the spine, and then roll the ball out as you slowly roll back down to the mat. Inhale to hold, exhale, press into the ball, lift the head, lift the shoulders, just peel the spine up, hold, inhale, lower it all the way back down. Let's go one more time there, breathing out, lift, press into the ball, lengthen through the crown of the head, inhale, lower everything back down to the mat. Now I want you to pick your ball up, and I want you to pass it to your hands behind you. Try to lift your chest and keep that chest height as you pass the ball in front, pass it behind, pass it in front, pass it behind and hold. Lift a little higher, then reverse your passes. Go 3 the other way, to the front, behind, to the front, back and hold. Lift a little higher, and then just pop that ball out to the corner. You don't need it anymore. We're going to pick up your weights. I want one weight in either hand. Chest down on the mat. Your elbows are bent 90 degrees. Belly button pulling up away from your mat. Just to support your lower back, we just engage your deep abdominal muscles. I'm going to lift your arms up, lift your chest up, pull your shoulder blades together, and then inhale, lower everything down to the mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. And 1, and then extend your arms out to the corners of your mat. Turn your weights on their end. Take your feet out to the corners of the mat. Roll your heels in towards each other. I want you to lift your right arm and your left leg, stretching as you lift, and then inhale, lower. Lift your left arm and right leg again, lengthening as much as you're lifting. Inhale, lower. Exhale, opposite arm and leg, lift and lower. Then changing sides for 6, 5. Keep the core strong. 4, 3, 2, last 1, and down. Now take the weights down along your sides. Again, have them standing up on end. We're going to lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades together, and then breathe in, take the backs of the hands to the floor. Breathe out, rotate the weights, rotate the arms, lift the chest, lift the shoulders, inhale, lower back down. So imagine you're trying to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. Now the weights are going to make it harder. The weights are optional. Feel free to drop the weight if you want to really work on smaller muscles, or if it feels just too strong, too heavy with the weights. I want perfect form. If the weights are making you struggle a little bit too much and lose your form, it's better to do it without the weight. Let's aim for 2 more. Breathing out and in. Last one, lift and lower. And then I'm going to drop my weights. And I want you to lace your fingers behind the back. Lift your legs up and hold there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, drop the legs, drop the hands, drop your chest. Breathe in again. And then exhale, lift the chest, lace the fingers, lift the legs, hold there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the legs, hands, and chest come down with a big inhale. Last one, exhale, chest up, hands together, legs up, hold, stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower everything back down. Take your hands under your chin and just really relax your upper body. Now, we haven't done a lot of legs today because our focus is on our back, but the glutes actually have quite a lot to do with lower back issues. So because everything's connected, we're going to do a glute exercise that actually hits the top of your glute. Like often I'm doing things that kind of hit where the glute meets your hamstring. This is where the glute meets your lower back. So very important muscles. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Core tight to support from underneath. And then lift your knees up off the mat. Squeeze your heels tight. And feel these muscles right here tensing and strengthening. If you put your thumbs into those muscles, you should feel them toning and finding that definition each time you try to lift the knees. Even if your knees don't come up off the mat, just the action of trying to lift them should activate the right muscles. Now, I often see people with their feet kind of reaching to the end of the mat, trying to really pull your heels in close to your bum. Really bend, fold those knees, lift up and down. Say the first 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the last one up, squeeze your heels tight, breathe in, lower the knees down. Now point your toes, have your big toes together, belly button still scooped up and away, and then lift the knees up for 8, 7, 6, so almost pushing into your hip bones, 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm going to stretch your legs up, squeeze your inner thighs, and then bend the knees, knees wide again, belly button in, one last set, lift up, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and lengthen and let the feet come down to the mat. Take your hands under your shoulders. I want you to sit back onto your heels, stretching out your lower back. Good. And then a really good stretch for anyone that has lower back issues. We take the right hand to the right edge of your mat, place your left hand on top, and reach those fingers to the right corner of the room as you sink your left hip into your left heel. So just trying to stretch into that left half of your lower back. Lengthening through the arms as you sit back onto the heels. Then change it, left hand to left edge of the mat, right hand stacks on top. Sit back into your right heel as you stretch those fingertips out towards your left. Kind of lean into that right half of your lower back, stretching it out. And then take the hands back to the center. Come up to all fours. And then again, one last twist. We're going to take your right hand through the body, slide it across the floor, just kind of threading the needle. Hips stay right above the knees, and then lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Breathe in, stretch both arms a little longer. And then as you breathe out, take the top hand down to the mat. Bottom arm comes back through. We reverse the twist of the spine, opening up the chest at the same time. And then inhale, lower the hand back down to the mat. Change sides, left arm tucks through the body, keep reaching all the way through. Press into the back of that arm, lift the right arm up to the ceiling. Big breath in. And then as you breathe out, take the right hand down to the mat. Take your left hand back through the body and lift your fingertips up to the ceiling one more time. And then breathe in, take the hand down to the mat. Now, I want you to think about your shoulders and your spine. I want you to let your spine drop through your shoulder blades. That's something that I usually do the reverse of. But here we're just really sinking down. Let your shoulder blades come together over that spine and then reverse it. Just lift the spine up between the shoulder blades. Kind of open the shoulder blades out. Pull the shoulder blades together as you sink down through your shoulder blades and then reverse it. Pressing the mat away, lifting the spine up, opening shoulder blades out. One more time. It's like a small movement. We just sink down. And then reverse, lift all the way back up. Last one, again, let the spine sink between the shoulder blades, pull the shoulder blades together, and then open everything out. Good, now I'm gonna turn that onto its back. So come all the way down onto your back. Let's have the knees up in tabletop, and have your hands up above your shoulders. Keep the belly button in, keep that lower back in a nice neutral spot, and then we're gonna open the arms out. Just reach the fingertips up to the ceiling and then let them drop back down. 2 more, breathing out, lift the arms, lift their shoulders up off the mat, really stretch the fingertips, Inhale, lower back down. Last one, lift and lower. And then open your arms nice and wide back as the hands touch the floor. Really reach with the fingertips. Feel the fascia of your arms really stretching. And then just hug your knees into your chest. I'm going to draw your chin to your chest. I want you to roll yourself up to sitting. Cross your feet, flip yourself over to all fours. I'm going to do one more standing stretch. So I'm going to lift your knees up, press into your heels, walk your hands back. Soften the knees, chin to chest, articulate as you roll yourself all the way back up to standing. Shoulders and head come up last, and now you just reach your arms out to the side and then turn the thumb down on one arm. So just rotating the arms, just twisting. So again, this is a fascia stretch, just feeling that kind of connective tissue all stretching out. And imagine you're hugging something out in front of you and pushing it back. And then again, hugging forward and pushing back. And then just reach the arms out in front, just big stretch of the fingertips, lift the arms overhead, and then just pull your elbows into the side of the ribcage. So there's one thing that you do every day as you're sitting at a desk or over a computer or like looking down at your phone too much, is lifting, lengthening through the crown of the head, reaching the fingertips over your head, and pulling your elbows in like that, kind of swimmer pose, just pulling the shoulder blades together behind your back. Also, just always be aware of where your head is. I often look around as I'm walking, and I see people like this. They're constantly looking at a phone or looking at something in their hands, and that's going to be incredibly bad for the neck. So I want to take a finger to push their head back into place. Make sure your shoulders are always, your ears are always over your shoulders. So just be aware of where your head is as you're kind of moving through your day, and trying to do little corrections as you go. So just pulling the shoulders back, drawing in, and reaching. If you always think string out of the top of the head, your posture should naturally come into the perfect alignment. You should have the muscles there if you're doing your regular Pilates to hold it. And I hope you've really enjoyed the class today and that focus on posture. It's so important. Speak to you soon. Thanks for checking today. Bye. Okay.